Hey, what's up guys, this is Marcos. Today we're going to talk about my 3 biggest color grading mistakes. This is stuff that I had to learn the hard way, taking me a long time to correct for it. And hopefully if I share it with you, it will make you a better colorist, a better color grader, and it'll improve the look of your video. So let's jump straight into it, and I'm going to talk about the first one, which is relying on my eyes to color grade. Here's the thing about your eyes. Your eyes are very deceiving when it comes to color. Also, when you're beginning to color grade, you don't necessarily have the eye developed for colors. I know this is true for me. When I used to record my first videos, I would just do some minor tweaks to the colors. I would say, oh, that looks good, and I would just publish and call it done. But then I would revisit that video like a month or a week later, whatever time frame it was, and then I would see that my skin tones were very saturated, or the image looked blue, and I didn't know why. I remember looking at this and it looked fine. How come it looks different now? Well, that's the thing about with your eyes. Depending on the ambience of the light, you might perceive colors differently. So you can't rely on your eyes. You have to use the histogram and the vector scope to make sure that your colors are accurate, especially the skin. You want to learn how to tell if you have accurate skin tones. I have a video on that topic. There'll be a card somewhere here, or there'll be a link in the description, so check that out on how to make sure you have accurate skin tones. All right, so never rely on your eyes. Make sure you understand how to use those tools within your video editor, and you'll be doing a much better job with your color grade. Mistake number 2 is not knowing what I wanted out of my color grade. Like I mentioned before, I would just do some minor tweaks, color graded a little bit, and if I thought it looked good, then I was done. But there was no intention behind it. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what color palettes I liked, how I wanted my skin tones to come out, and over time you realize that you can have, one day you might have a beautiful color grade, and the next, like, how the heck did I achieve that look? And you don't remember. So it's important to have a workflow, but also understand what you want out of your color grade. One of the things I started doing was capturing images of color grades that I really loved from other people, whether other YouTubers, maybe a commercial, an interview setup, or a movie. And I take a screenshot and I save it to my computer. That way, when I'm color grading, I have that as a reference, and I compare it to my color grade, and I try to match it up. So if I come close to it, even like 80 or 90%, I'm doing a pretty good job. But often I compare those images and my skin tones or my colors are way off, and then I have to correct for them. So always keep those references. Also, what I've done is whenever I'm looking at magazines, I have a bunch of cutouts of pictures that I like, or color grades. Like, oh man, they're all over the place. Like this one, I really like this one, this style right here. Can you see? It's in focus. That's really desaturated. I like the pose, and I like the lighting. Not necessarily something I do, but it's important to know that I like that kind of style. Right now, what I'm trying to go for is for something that's more saturated, like this. It's actually not, I wouldn't say saturated, but vibrant. You can see that there's rich skin tones. I like that, but there's a little bit of a fade to the shadow, so that's cool. And I have a bunch of examples. So try to, whenever you're watching another YouTuber, a movie, or commercial, whatever it is, if you like the color grade, take a picture of it. Over time, you realize these are the colors you want in your images. So that's what I try to do. My third major mistake was using multiple monitors to color grade. Here's what I used to do before. I used to color grade on my laptop when I was, in my bedroom or in the living room, or sometimes I would come down here and there's no natural light coming in. And I remember I used to have yellow light bulbs. And those things affect the way you see colors. The ambient light affects the way you see colors, but also the monitor you're color grading on. So my laptop might have a certain color to it, but when I used to hook up my laptop to this external monitor on this side over here, that monitor has a different tint, a different temperature, and a different brightness to my laptop. Then sometimes I would take my laptop with me to work, and I would do a little bit of color grading at work, and the monitor over there has a different tint to this one and to my laptop. So you gotta realize that if you're gonna color grade on different monitors, you're not gonna see the same colors, you're not gonna see the same brightness. And often what ended up happening for me was that, I look back at some of the videos I color graded a couple months ago, and my skin is really bright, and that's because I was finalizing my color grade at work, and that monitor is dimmer than my laptop colors. So, you know, I was looking at it and it's like, I bring up the highlights and oh, that looks perfect. But in reality, I was, you know, I was setting my skin tones too bright. So try to color grade only on one screen. Hopefully that screen is accurate. If it's not, maybe try to buy something like the spider color calibrator thing that goes on your screen. You can calibrate your screen. I don't have that, so what I did now is I only color grade on my iMac Pro, and this is something I got recently, and I trust that the colors are pretty accurate. It might not be the case, but I trust that it is. And now I only color grade on my iMac, so that's, you know, that's one of the things if you're not gonna buy that spider color calibrator thing. All right, so those are my 3 major mistakes. Let me run over them again. You know, my advice to you also, and this is also for me, don't rely on your eyes to color grade. Use a histogram vector scope to check that you have accurate colors. Number 2, second mistake is not knowing what you want out of your color grades. So get a reference and always compare and try to get match your color grades to your reference image. Have like 1 or 2 or 3 that you really love and try to get as close to it as possible. And number 3 is try to color grade only on one monitor. Don't use multiple monitors to color grade. All right, so hopefully this helps you out. I know that these are the major things for me, and if you want to add anything to this list, please share down below. Also, any questions, comments, I would love those. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and as always guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one.